The Soybean Innovation Lab is USAID's only comprehensive program dedicated to soybean research for development. It has conducted numerous programs across Africa and Asia focused on building the foundation for successful soybean production through the development of evidence-based knowledge, innovation, and technologies. Over the past years, Soybean Innovation Lab in Ghana has helped increase the breeding capacity among farmers, promote improved seed management practices, increase soil utilization and integration in household diets, among several others. But for these activities to contribute significantly to reducing global poverty and hunger, there is a need to have a better appreciation of the soil value chain. For this, YouthMappers from Ghana's University of Cape Coast were engaged.
We wanted to understand with our partners the soybean value chain in Ghana, because we know that the soybean in Ghana is produced mainly in the three northern regions, that is Upper East, Upper West, and Northern Ghana. But most of the processing plants are located in Kumasi. So with our partnership, we sought to understand why those facilities are located in Kumasi, and also to map up all those facilities and to see whether Kumasi is a good location. If the source of the produce is in the north, why is it they are located in Kumasi? And also to know what determines the price of soybean in Ghana.
To aid them in the research and mapping process, the students were introduced to the Kobo Toolbox.
The Kobo Toolbox is a great, technological invention in the field of research, because as compared to the paperwork, it makes the work quite easier for you, because you are able to take GPS coordinates, you are able to type your things faster, and it's paperless also. It doesn't require any Wi-Fi or internet access if you are using it, and so it makes the work quite easier and faster.
For me, the interesting part is your data being ready after you pushing it to their server, because I have been engaged in several research works where when you go with the paper, you now have to come back with your team and now come in to enter it. First you have to develop your codes and now come and enter, but now through Kobo you don't need all those things. All that you have to do is you just download your data properly arranged for you. If you feel you have to do some form of data cleaning, you do so, then quickly you can run your analysis.
I was very fascinated to realize it offered basic simple statistics and even gave us the platform to translate the data into other data processing applications like the SPSS, for instance, and giving us a very good graphical display of the places we went. I feel this tool is a very important one which could modernize the data collection process, especially for us students with reference to cost, timing, and flexibility. It's been a very great tool for the data collection process.
At first, from level 100 up to 400, all my project work I've been using questionnaires on paper, which I've been moving around, going with questionnaires in bag, which is heavy. But now with the Kobo, when we went to the field, easy with your phone, you can pick the coordinates, the GPS location and stuff. So Kobo has given me much experience, and even I'm now eager to use Kobo everywhere in terms of research, because the Kobo, I think it does almost 90% of the work for you.
One of the technology we employed is the use of the Kobo application tool. And the Kobo is an application that allows you to collect your data, and instead of using a paper, that one, you just enter the responses into it, and at the end you get a summary of all what you've done at the field. So that's the essence of the use of a Kobo tool.
Through the collaboration with SIL, the students gained valuable knowledge related to their study of the soybean value chain in Ghana.
Soybean, I knew little about it, but through this project, I have come to appreciate its nutritional value it gives to not animals alone, but human beings. And so with one of the firms or the processors we visited, I think I bought one of the soya oil, which I'm using now. And then in interaction with the processors, I was also motivated to engage in man's first job, which is farming.
All I knew about soya was that there's the soya meats that they use they make on the stick, and then soya milk. I didn't know anything about its nutritional value, its oil content, its potential as a cash crop. I had no idea about it, and so when we began the whole data collection, and even the information we were given before, I realized that there's a lot of potential with soybean. So it translates into job opportunities for a lot of people if we take the opportunity to invest in it.
I'm actually from the northern sector, and the basic things I know soybeans could do was the soybean kebab and then that of the milk. I never knew that soybean could go to the extent of giving us oil, and also used to feed the fish industry, then the piggery, and then the poultry too as well. So my basic things I just knew about soybean was just for home consumption. That's even for the kebab and then the milk.
I'm from the Western region. In Western region, we are fond of producing just cocoa and gold mining. So if you complete school, but you have two things in mind. The first one is either to be in the mining sector or to go to the farming of cocoa. And now, soya bean. From my early age up to now, what I know about soya bean was just using it to cook your kogari and stuff, not knowing that soya beans have such a value.
But the research was not without challenges.
The things that were challenging were actually we getting the answers from the producers. Some of them thought that we were there to take or just copy their business ideas. So some of them failed to give out the detailed answers that we needed.
It was difficult to access the processing facilities. Some of them weren't so willing to accept us and for us to ask them questions. Others were willing to accept us, but then they did not give us the actual information we needed. Like they were diverting from our questions to just giving us blunt answers. That really weren't helpful to the study.
We had an issue with they giving us the information we need, because some of them were not really the people we were supposed to meet over there. An example was one of the managers who we went to the place and was like, his boss is not around, so he's not going to give us any information, but he will just allow us to just go around the facilities. So that's actually what we encountered, and it's like they were not ready. Some of them were not ready, and those who were ready to were not ready to give the information.
When we went to this place, Sunyani, that was Yadant's soybean processing factory. The respondent wasn't willing to give us enough information. Any question we asked him, he tried to tell us that I don't know, and a lot. And we went to 1-2 at Kumasi. He wasn't even ready to respond to us at all. So we have to pick the coordinates and go.
After 2 weeks of field analysis, working with the soybean industry players, the students are convinced their research findings, if critically considered, could help improve the soybean industry significantly.
Some of the results we have obtained so far has pointed the direction of the facts that we had with regards to soybean production in Ghana. It's how it's unable to meet the needs of soybean processors in Ghana, and the location issues that we asked about also, I think, are issues that further researchers could explore. Then again, one thing we didn't touch on that I think could be room for further studies is actually how production is going on in the north, because we were unable to get there, and the challenges that these farmers are facing and possibly help that could be given to them?
The economic benefits and the nutritional benefits of soybean, it's very important for our nation. As a nation, I believe that our health is very important, and if we can have such a product which has very high nutritional benefits, then it's very important we have to look at it.
Per what we gathered, some of them, like some of the managers or the CEOs, were actually complaining about the quality of the soya bean. So looking at the quality, we could see that, oh, maybe we can also educate some of the farmers on how to keep their beans well, so like it can also get the good market for them, so that like if they are getting the good beans, it also goes alongside with a good price.
The students believe that the experience of conducting this work in the field has given them a better appreciation of the research process and better prepare them for their careers in the future.
Personally, I have now gained deeper understanding in research, because at a point in the initial stages of the exercise, we had Dr. Goldsmith having discussions with us, and we trying to implement some of the research ideas that we were taught in class. And then through that, aside the classroom knowledge I have acquired, even though I've done some few projects, I got to a different dimension, because it wasn't something related to my field. I'm a geographer, but this time around going into a little bit of agriculture and a little bit of economics, which they call the agroeconomics. So we were looking at the value chain and blending the two. I am the curious type, and so looking at the knowledge I acquired from these two has really helped me a lot.
When I joined YouthMappers, when we were going for field work, we only go individually. But this project has really made a teamwork a necessity, an option, not an option, but really a necessity, which we all brainstorm to bring certain things together. We all do everything together, and it was really, really cool. And I wish this project could go on and the findings could really be shared among others in the public.
Well, I think it's something I can tuck under my belt as an experience and then possibly include in my CV. I don't believe a lot of people, particularly students of my kind, have had such an experience. It's usually very social in nature, doing questionnaires and going around to collect data, or very physical, sitting in a lab. But this was a merge of the two, bringing the humanities and the sciences together, and I think that's an experience that I won't forget. Yeah.
I was quite intrigued to know that despite the various benefits and nutritional advantages of soya bean, it had actually received very little intervention and attention on a national level. And to come close to the very people who are at the helm of activities, I think this is an experience which is worth keeping, and it has actually given me, as a student, one, business strategies for the future, and two, research areas for further research in the future. I think this has been nuggets of knowledge I will keep with me for quite a long time, and I am very grateful to the team for my inclusion in the project.
The students are in the process of analyzing the data collected in the field. When completed, the data is expected to help a better understanding of the challenges within the soybean value chain and how to address them. It would help increase soybean production across the country and also help the revenue generated along the value chain.